Okay, listen. Being in your 40s and dating in your 40s is a really, really tricky thing, especially when you have come from a relationship with that's like mentally, almost physically, emotional abuse, um, narcissistic, and and the way that, and you actually, something about you changes when you're dating that person. It's like you become somebody that you don't recognize. And we kind of stay in those relationships because, we kind of feel like, okay, I'm almost 40 or I'm in my 40s and I don't want to try to date. No one knew. I want to kind of stay right here. And, I'm going to try to just see, can we work on this? And honestly, that was never my style when I was younger. Baby, I used to get on down. But I hung around in this relationship just a tad bit too long to where it started to change me. It started to change me, and other people started to notice that you're not the person that you was. So now I've been through a lot of therapy, and I'm not gonna lie, I went back and forth with this relationship, back and forth. But I feel like I'm healed enough to where I can start to talk to other people. Well, this is where the problem comes in. Because at what point do I know if it's my intuition or if it's my insecurities? Because I don't want to take insecurities because that takes forever to heal. And I don't want to take that and put that in a new relationship. I don't want to put that on this person who knows my past. Because even though people say don't tell nobody your past, I'm going to always tell you how to treat me. I'm going to let you know how I want to be treated. That way, there's no miscommunication when I be like, I didn't like what you did, or I didn't like how you talked to me, or I didn't like, there's no miscommunication. We know what's up. So I always tell people how I like to be treated. And I'm going to treat you exactly how I like to be treated. I like to go out. I like to do things. I like to talk. I like to look at TV. I like to sit in the house a little while. And I want to go outside. I want to take my man everywhere I go. I want to take my man. But I also don't want to be taking my man everywhere looking like a goddamn fool with my man. So if we going somewhere, if it's going to be a whole bunch of hotties there and you the fool with like 90% of the hotties, let's not go there. Because I don't want to be looking like no goddamn fool. Like I can be looking like a little foolish, but not a goddamn fool. Because if you still talking to these hotties, then I'm looking like a goddamn fool. Anywho, but when do you, back on topic because I got ADHD, when do you figure out, so when do we know, like when do we take that step back to say, okay, this is my intuition, telling me that something is off, or this is just my insecurity telling me that something is off. And I really don't know, like, how do I be like, okay, it's only an insecurity and it's not my intuition, because I am a woman. And most of the time when we feel things, it's usually right. But when you've been through so many things, you're very cautious and you're very edgy about stuff. So I need to understand, and I need to know when is the time for me to be like, it's not my insecurity, it's my intuition. Something is wrong. Because I don't want to be putting these things that's not right off on the person that I'm talking to now. I don't want them to feel like they have to take an even heavier load while getting to know me. Maybe that's a question I need to ask my therapist. But since I got y'all here, y'all tell me what the answer is.